Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. Red Pill, Big Town. Um, this is Old Prick and Young Dick. And we are here today at the D2 Summit. Let me put on some music here. The D2 Summit, where we strive for the stars in finding new ways of helping Greta Thunberg onto the missile. Or, sorry, rocket. Yes, not missile. Anyways, oh, did Bill Gates just part? Anyways, we are here to talk about the environment today. And this article, which will get the ball rolling, is very interesting. So, yes, like, comment, subscribe. Check that out, which is very small. That's what she said. You know, in this video is also going to be short and weird and to the point. That's what she said as well. Okay, so it says, in the work published this month in Nature Communication, researchers found that marine species like barnacles, brittle stars, shrimp-like crustaceans called isopods are living in the California to Hawaii garbage patch, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So
Wow.
yes, wind. It seems as though the trash and the waste that we've produced has led to a brand new flourishing ecosystem in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Wow.
I'm at a loss for words as well. Yes.
I'm like, so basically, cleaning up the ocean would do more harm than good.
Well, it would, yes, potentially leading to the extinctions of tons of new life in a place that is made up of our waste.
Wow. Irony.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny too, right? I mean, we have tons of different groups, activists saying that we need to clean up the garbage in the ocean, but they're essentially here hypocritically and paradoxically destroying new forms of life. You know, it just seems kind of very hypocritical, don't you think?
It does. Too
Yeah.
hypocritical.
Well, I don't know
mean,
about too hypocritical yet, because coming up, we have this topic about cities and how people think that switching to electric cars is going to be the future. But please hold for these brief messages here.
With the finest bitch, we smoke the finest kush. I be shining, man, I know it's hard not to look. He just pressed it up cause he got his bitch took.
Now that we have that aside, yes. So, wow, what a topic that last one, right? The
so,
garbage fashion
so,
militant. Talk about hypocrisy.
yeah, that's a lot of hypocrisy. They're saying that we need to save the environment, but they're doing more destruction to the environment. Which brings us into the next topic: electric cars. So you mean to tell me that
Mm-hmm.
with all the various amounts of different ecosystems, weather patterns in this beautiful, beautiful planet called Earth, we call Earth, we fail to have an account. We fail to take into account the what's the word? The water intake of the Earth, like flooding.
Yes.
Yeah, flooding. That's the word I'm looking for. Flooding.
Yes. Yes. Water. Just
Lots of flooding.
H2O. And just chemical interactions in general, you know, like what happens when you expose a lithium ion core from a battery
Battery to what?
to
To
water.
H2O or sodium or water laced laden with sodium chloride or
So let's just
the
say that one
many
of these cities
alkaline.
said that, in which I call also referred to as giant parking lots,
Yeah,
were to be hit with just a ton of water. Like say from a dam break, of subsequent flooding and
Like
rainfalls,
rainstorm. Yeah.
thunderstorm, like wind front. Man, hey, wind front. And
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
imagine what
But
would
what would
happen
it
to
happen?
all of the batteries that have become submerged. I mean, the effect would be of literally like, you remember the Beirut explosion, the ammonia
Oh
gas?
yeah, it would become like
Yeah.
they would make the Beirut Lebanon barracks explosion look like the 4th of July. A Saturday in the park with the 4th of July. Look like a
Yeah.
Chicago song. You know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Post Terry Cass.
I
Those
mean,
of you
plainly
who
put,
don't know who
it doesn't degrade at the same level that the gasoline does. I mean, if lithium degrades into the environment, it can potentially be very toxic.
all right, let me get
It'd be,
see how gasoline degrades is they lose their octane level. They lose their octane level. You might have 93 gas. You might when it was new when you bought it, but after a year, you're dealing with 87 or 80 or 90 or 87 gas with an octane level with a crap octane level, you know. But with a lithium ion batteries, see, when batteries in general, they can't get too hot and they can't get too cold. Otherwise, they end up dropping a cell. You ever tried to start your car when you drop the cell in your battery?
no,
And let's just
no,
say it ain't fun.
right. And when no one's around to fix it, because there's an earth-wide calamity. I mean, the car's not going to be of much use anyways. But what it creates is it's a jungle. It'll become like when society collapses. There'll be so many leftover electric cars in the street that just unsalvageable. Because once a battery runs out, there's
Your
no way to. There's
SOL.
like, yeah, there's nothing you can
Now
do
let's
with a
talk.
battery
Let's talk
with a
about
battery.
yeah. Let's talk about the chemical makeup of a lithium ion battery. First, you have the lithium, right? The periodic table code would be Li. Am I correct? But you also need an acid. You need an acid salt. So it would be LiN. But the problem is I'm not. No, sorry. I'm trying to remember the form that the periodical table symbol for sodium. So it'll be lithium salts, right?
Yeah, LINA.
Lina.
Mm-hmm.
Lina. What happens? See, the reason the fact that lithium, when you basically put it in a car, it doesn't blow up, is because it's using the sodium atoms, the ionic bonding of the sodium atoms to keep it stable. You know. So when you add fresh freaking water, fresh rainwater to a lithium ion battery, well, what do you get? You get a diluted chemical change up. Milo, up. Good boy. Good boy. You
So
get
what happens?
you get
What
a
happens
chemical
after that?
change up. It becomes hot. You know? It becomes
What?
really, really hot.
Okay, your
So
connection going. Yeah, you said it's going. It gets hotter. It heats up when it goes through a diluted chemical reaction.
Exactly. And it produces toxic gases into the air.
Mm-hmm. So in effect, it produces warming.
It produces warming. It produces some sort of poisonous gas when it gets hot, and all of a sudden it catches fire. Now the
what if it gets
fire
cold?
May not be the problem.
Mm.
It gets cold, you just drop a cell, and it just turns into a paperweight.
Okay. Oh, right.
Until it warms up.
You said You said that before.
Still keeps it as a paperweight.
You said that before, but also, yeah, like the construction of cars is like basically to trap the battery inside of the machine because it's so valuable, or not valuable. It's like so important, integral to the function of the machine. It's not like you can't really like, of course you can like switch like coast into neutral, and the car is effectively still a car. But like without the battery, the electric cars are like, or they're
Paperless.
shitty. So they do. So the way that they're constructed
Yeah.
is to just so if there's a fire, like you said, if it goes through a diluted chemical reaction, let's say it's a a semi truck bed full of electric cars that happen to like not go nuclear but go chemical, and start creating fire. It's going to be really hard to put out that fire, because isn't it like a oil fire? Like you can't put it out with water.
It's a mixture of you also got to put account in the frame, but we'll get to that in the thing because all
No,
cars
yeah,
have
because there's that one Twitch streamer that she tried to like put out a grease fire with water, and she created like a fucking fireball.
chemical / oil fire because you still need petroleum products to lubricate the inner workings of the machinery, which is strange because I thought this was supposed to be all electric. But the thing is like it turns into a metal fire, a metal fire,
Yeah, like
lithium.
9/11, anyone? Jet fuel, anyone?
I don't know. Maybe there's something. But then again, once the battery's on fire, you can call that a wrap. Because next thing is gonna catch is the frame. You ever tried to and if the frame's made out of magnesium, like every other car's alloy rims, aluminum, magnesium.
What happened is it'll like the frame would be compromised, but it would probably crumple in, right? That's how cars are designed nowadays, right? They're like crumple in.
Crumple zones. Via the crumple zones. But
that's what impact. That's what impact. Yeah, crumple zones and like impact. But what if a fire were to start and like the frame would become, super hot? What would it do?
See, magnesium or sodium are practically the same thing. Are a volatile salt. How do you transport sodium? Is they have to be transported in mineral oil. How it transports magnesium in its raw form has to be transported in mineral oil. So your magnesium aluminum rims and your lightweight car, it's going to be a tinderbox. It's going to be a tinderbox. So you've got lithium ion producing toxic gases. You've got a magnesium fire, a metal fire, and plus you got whatever petroleum in there used to lubricate the son of a gun.
What's going on? What is going on? What is going on?
So to all you environmentalists, help you make that make sense to me.
Well, so far, all they've been able to do is destroy the ecosystem in the Great Garbage Patch, which is where a lot of organisms live that are brand new, that want to experience life. Okay, so genociders, and they also are trying to fill our cities with ugly, highly reactive, super fire, basically dumpster fires.
Right.
They're just trying to roll electric dumpster fires into our cities, which are already overcrowded. Like, hey, did you go to Chicago the other day? Oh, you mean the parking lot? Yes, I did go to that parking lot. What about LA? I'm talking about the biggest parking lot in the United States.
Exactly. Oh, better yet, charging them things.
Yeah, now, and they're gonna right. I got it. So they're going to change our housing regulations in order to get solar panels so that everybody can charge their electric cars, right?
Right.
Yay. So what that does is that basically makes it 10 times more risky to go into the real estate business, 10 times more dangerous to be an owner operator of a. So, because imagine it. So you can't just install solar panels in your neighborhood. Oh, look, I made a little contribution to energy in my city. No, it's going to be equivalent to friggin' oil rigging now. It's going to be a dirty job to the solar panel industry, dying, corruption, just like anything that's regulated by the government. It just has a lot of, it's just really dangerous and mismanaged, and it's going to lead to a bunch of people thinking that they are like not only smart but also morally righteous, because they're going to be like, oh yeah, charge my fucking Tesla with my solar panel house and go to work every day and eat grits, and I don't spend money because I just donate it all to Coney. And like, I am a person that just is so morally righteous, and like they'll literally throw you in the garbage patch in the middle of the ocean and burn it all with lithium ion batteries, because they overproduce them, because
The
they think that
thing is,
the electric cars are going to be back in stock. You know what's funny? We use Russian gas to get to the moon, or not to get to the ISS. We need to ask We need to ask Russia for permission to go to ISS.
right? That's
And
crazy.
now that we're at war, with them, it's like, yeah, no ISS. It's like if your best friend was at your, or it's like, I don't know. It's like if your best friend was at your other friend's house, and then you were banned from there, but you really want to hang out with your best friend, but it's like you're not allowed to be there. So it's like, yes, this relationship is effectively over.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just Russia and America and ISS. It's every country. It's every
Of course.
country. Sweden, Norway, France, Germany.
Wow, it's crazy. And it's like it makes perfect sense to somebody. Makes perfect sense.
I don't know if I'm subscribed to Corey. I might have to double check. I don't think I'm actually subscribed to him. So I don't know.
I just been working. I mean, shit. The videos you see right now is just, it's just difficult.
I think Corey might have been shadow banned. I don't know if I'm subscribed or not, but I never see his videos or anything. So not sure what's up.
But like, let's talk about the production of solar panels.
Yeah. You were mentioning something about the batteries before that too.
Yeah.
You were mentioning something about the fire, like the flame.
And you know the best way to put out a lithium ion and magnesium battery fire?
Oh, you're in the charging. Sorry, we were talking about the charging. Yeah, you were talking about
the charging,
yeah.
The charging. Oh, what have you ever you've basically, you know what a fuse panel is, right?
I think so. Remind me of what it is.
A fuse panel, aka a fuse box or breaker box.
I'm familiar with those, yeah.
We'll talk an old fashioned. A fuse, an old busman fuse, has a little bit of a charge, a little bit of a powder charge. So when you basically have too much power going into that fuse, it's going to pop and disconnect the circuit. It's going to break the circuit. Like that's the old style bus fuses. So when you see the lights go out all at once, guess what? You blew a fuse. You blew a circuit. You tripped the circuit breaker. Now, when you have all of these solar panels literally pushing power into the grid, what do you think is going to happen when the sun hits, before the sun even hits high noon? Mm-hmm. You're going to trip every circuit breaker in the city. The hospitals are going to be running on emergency power. Not on your power, emergency power. So you know what happens with emergency powers? They got to start warm up the diesel engines. And they're a fire hazard. If you got so many things tripping out the goddamn circuits, it's a fire hazard. Guess what? Congratulations. You now have Chicago, Illinois, in the 1800s when a cow kicked a lantern. Good job, people. Good job. Good job, morally justifiable people. Mm-hmm. You have now started the next Chicago, Illinois fire. But instead of Chicago, Illinois, it's nationwide.
Well, like
You know?
yeah, like a lot of and where I'm from, there's like these people like snowbirds who come in the winter when it's sunny, and they go back during in the summer to like Wisconsin, Illinois, Colorado, like sometimes the Pacific Northwest, but they mostly just come in like Minnesota, and so they leave and they come back. Like that's what people don't realize is like sometimes they're gonna try to go on like these road trips with these electric cars and stuff, and they're gonna be plugging into random places, and like it'd be very easy to install, like especially if to sync your IDs to your cars and stuff in the future. That like if I just installed like a chit reader or something on like a Tesla charging port or something, or like an e-charging port, which can be like anywhere. Like that one influencer guy, he like has one at his house that's publicly listed. Like these people don't realize how in jeopardy their security is just by having to go and charge at these weird places. At least at the gas stations nowadays, there's cameras, and there's at least one dude behind the counter who may have a shotgun on him. Be having a piece, at least a piece. But like at a charging port in the middle of nowhere, when you're doing, let's do a vlogging TikTok road trip, honey.
And you got this person, this old raggedy Volvo, 1980s Volvo that runs on diesel, that runs on turbo diesel, and is running on used cooking oil, following your car.
Yeah, so I think people getting shadow banned, big problem.
I can't possibly see how that could potentially go wrong, you know? All right. Yeah, y'all don't do anything crazy, I won't kill you. Your wife or your daughters are looking pretty hot.
Oh yeah.
911 ain't gonna help you because you're in the middle of nowhere and you're not even in anybody's jurisdiction. The state troopers don't patrol that road.
Can't even charge the police vehicles because there's a blackout.
Oh yeah. Basically, the response time. Oh, your cell phone, Jared. The response time is going to drastically increase, but it's just enough for your daughter and your wife and your daughters to get bowled over, flipped over. The assailant to smoke a cigarette, flip them over, have seconds, thirds, and fourths of each one of the members of your family, kill you, capture them, keep them in their basement, and now guess what? They're missing. You're dead. Like, they're missing.
There's already problems in LA. I know everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, they take the catalytic converters off and they do sports races with them and they street racing and it makes the cars sound louder. There's catalytic converters and stuff, but also,
Which is more valuable, lithium ion or catalytic converter? See, they haven't figured out a way. Or better yet, the precious metals that are used to wire the circuits and to wire everything.
I was like, if you look at the fuse panel so underneath the wheel, you can pop that compartment up and you get like a big panel of a bunch of switches. Is that the fuse panel for the console of the car?
No, that's like underneath. Like, say, the fuse panel for the console of the car is usually in the interior. You know, what you can get off the car is the electric motor. That's worth a lot of money.
Yep.
You basically take the car, take it to a chop shop, or take it to one chop shop, cut it up, find the GPS monitors, and you move the rest of the car across whatever in your little makeshift dump truck. You can literally just steal a Tesla, take the Tesla, set it on fire, and extract the copper. Take the middle of nowhere, set it on fire, extract the copper. Come back later, Hopefully the police ain't got there, extract the copper from the freaking thing. Or you can just basically take it to there, steal the Tesla with your little diesel motor, diesel Volvo, and running on used cooking oil, transfer it, chop the motor up, burn the car, and you got copper. Which is probably per ounce, you can get more money out of it.
If you crash an electric car like in the rain, wouldn't there be like two different fires? Because the first would be like the engine fire, and then the second would be like the battery, like the the metal fire.
Yeah, first of all, actually you get three fires. You get the engine fire, you get the battery fire, and then you get the frame. Because the frame on these modern cars are made out of magnesium. And you basically, the only way to put them out is to let it burn out and control the fire and try to keep the fire contained.
Well, there you have it, guys. You progress with Needlecraft, Jablonski, and literally adding to global warming here. These electric cars. So that's pretty intense. That's some triggering next fourth wall breaking irony right there. So there you go. Sucks. I actually might get an electric car. They seem kind of fun.
I might just get an electric car, just drive it into the ocean. See how they like that shit.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like exactly. It's like you're just throwing a giant grenade into the ocean. Speaking of grenades,
pretty much.
I think Wind and I have some shit popping off and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and get going. Appreciate everybody listening. Thank you all for staying and chit chatting with us as we discuss the ever-growing climate catastrophe that is our nation's cities.
Continuously perpetuated
by
bureaucracy.
Yes, by your environment-loving, pet
bureaucrat.
Yes.
Oh yeah, don't forget the child loving, the child loving. They love children. They really do. Not in a way that is healthy.
It's healthy, right? Yeah. Other than that, thank you guys all for watching. And by the way, if you're mad, guess why?
With the finest bitch, we smoke the finest kush. I be shining, man, I know it's hard not to look. He just pressed it up cause he got his bitch took.
And treated me bad.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
That's preview for next time.
That was a slip of the tongue.
That's it. We leaving out.
Peace.
Peace out.